save any goals after this weekend?
I sure hope so. You know, we got a difficult opponent coming up this weekend, but you know, feel confident in the group. It's been another good week of training, and we're certainly looking forward to a difficult matchup there in Memphis.
There's no need for extra motivation when it's won a good game, a team you guys played a bunch last year. What can you tell us about this matchup from a tactical standpoint? What we should expect?
Yeah, I think you're going to see from Memphis a committed team, a team that's willing to work for one another, especially there at home. High intensity, good pressure, you know, and so it's going to be up to us to make sure that we execute the game plan, that we stay composed, and we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, especially early in the game.
Is this one of those games that, Danny, where you look at it, hey, we can sort of gauge where you guys are when you guys play games like this with one versus two?
Yeah, I think at this point now, you know, we're pretty confident of where we are. You know, so that you know, Memphis, it's not a gauge of you know, are we at that level? Are we not? We're confident in who we are and how we're performing. And I think when you look at the season holistically, there's certainly been ups and downs, but the team has performed more often than not at a high level, and that's something we're certainly proud of. But we're going up against a difficult opponent, another difficult opponent, and I think it's important that we talk a ton about making sure that the mentality is right from the minute that whistle blows. And if we do that, then we'll certainly be put ourselves in a good position to have some success.
You mentioned the ups and downs. Obviously, it's on an upward trajectory at the moment. I'm sure mentally and everything for this team. Having had that little bit of a lull, do you think that's a good perspective for these guys? Like, hey, let's not get too high whenever we do have these ups going forward.
Yeah, definitely. At the same time, you know, and I said it even when we were going through the tough stretch. We remain confident in the group and what we're doing, you know, and they've continued to show that they can respond through adversity. And you know, right now we're certainly playing good football and we're in a good way, but it's making sure that we maintain that standard, both obviously in games, but starts on the training ground. So you could tell over the last few weeks the trainings have been sharp, the players' mentality has been good. When we lost a couple games there that we did, everybody came back to work the next week and made sure that they raised the standard. And if you continue to do that, that's the easiest way to get through difficult moments.
Any injury updates, whether it's Kyle, Cam, Wilson?
Kyle's going to be available for selection this weekend. Cam is not going to be involved this weekend, unfortunately. And Wilson, we're still got to make a decision on that.
And then a couple quick questions about USL did an article about Mark Anthony Kay and just so many of these guys come from different clubs, come over here to get better, and obviously it mentions quickly. I know Enoch fits in that category. We just talked to Ray. I mean, what is it about this club that benefits everyone, whether it's growing them talent-wise or just meshing with chasing championships?
Yeah, I think you know number one, players understand that you know they're coming to a club with high expectations, right? So every single week, there's real pressure here, and it's healthy pressure. It's good, right? You want to lift trophies, and so the environments that they're coming from are a little bit different, you know, right? It's a depending on the two team that they were coming from, it's mostly about development and pushing them into the first team there. And for us, it's about winning championships and lifting a trophy. And so when you look at the locker room that we have in there and the growth of the young players that you've seen come through, whether that be Enoch from day one, Ray from day one, or obviously guys from our own academy and Josh, I think it speaks volumes to what those players in the locker room, the influence that they have on the growth of the young players, right? And so when you look at the process that we go through to bring players in, it's a thorough process between myself, my staff, obviously James, and Austin. I think it's a process that I really believe in, and you're not always going to get it right. But if you follow your process and you trust it, then you put yourself in a position to get players that are a good fit for Louisville City. We won't go away from that process. I firmly believe in it, and you know it's a big reason that you're seeing some of these young players. It takes time to integrate, but they've done a really good job of understanding what it means to be a Louisville City player.
Enoch was just saying how you guys told him before, like he would sign, like you're going to find a ton of success here. What was it about him in particular?
Sorry, he said what?
He was going to find a lot of success here, and it was all going to go incredibly well. And obviously, it has. What was it that you guys saw with him? And obviously he's coming off the accolades this past week. I mean, what has his growth been like, and what did you see with him when he signed?
Well, first and foremost, I think his growth has been tremendous from day one. He's put a lot of work in. My staff has done a good job with him on a daily basis. I think you need to have players that are willing to come in, keep an open mind, and they want to learn and grow. And that's something that we've seen from him from day one to now. And he'll be the first to tell you, you have ups and downs at any point, but as long as the player understands expectation, and more importantly, they feel that the staff and the club are giving them the tools to be successful, then you're able to hopefully get the best out of them. I'm really happy with where he is. Everybody wants to talk about his attacking side of the ball. Before we signed him, that was not a question. It was how can we improve his defensive abilities and the responsibility that he has on both ends. So when you talk about his growth, there's a clear understanding now from me to him and the players to him that it's about both sides of the ball. So he's doing a good job with that. That's been a huge area of growth for him, and my expectation is that continues.